Hello, everyone, and welcome to this important episode of Ignition Time. Have your unemployment benefits been delayed? Well, if that's the case, you can still collect past the Labor Day cutoff, which has gone. Welcome to this new and important episode of Ignition Time, and welcome to our channel. If you're not a subscriber yet, please consider clicking the like button, click subscribe, and enable notifications because I work hard on this channel every single day to bring you the latest news wherever the truth might lead us. My name is Dr. Chhoda with Ignition Time. This right here is a little bit of information about me. Check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. I was able to overcome the cycle of poverty that you see on your screen right now. Let's start with this headline from CNBC. Unemployment benefits delayed. You can collect past the Labor Day cutoff. Well, folks, thousands of workers who actually applied for federal unemployment benefits weeks or months ago are still waiting. Yep, you heard that right. Still waiting for the money to arrive. This, by the way, is why our unemployment benefit system has failed our citizens. I believe that if you're dependent on unemployment benefits, you are a customer of the unemployment benefit system because you and your employer have been paying into it. Now, individuals who have been waiting for unemployment benefits can still collect despite the official expiration of the federal unemployment benefits on Labor Day. However, here's the important part. Many individuals who are eligible but haven't yet applied have a limited time to do so. This is very, very important. Again, this is good news for Americans who've been waiting weeks or months for that aid to arrive. They can still collect back pay past the cutoff date, but workers who haven't yet applied for the federal assistance can do so, but many have less than 30 days to act. Yes, you heard that right. Many have less than 30 days to act. Why are we in this situation? Well, folks, state unemployment benefit systems and state offices have been completely overloaded because they've been dealing with a historic volume of claims. They've been dealing with outdated software that in some cases has not been updated for over 50 years. Think about that. The country that is the home of Amazon, Google, Facebook, Tesla, and Apple. The unemployment benefit system, which is designed to help the very residents who will need it in times of need, has not been updated for 50 years. Okay. In addition to outdated software, there are issues associated with understaffing, high levels of fraud, and the troublesome implementation of all the changing rules and regulations because of all the stuff that Congress has been enacting since March 2020. So thousands of individuals, we're talking about 104,000 people whose first payment of state benefits arrived in July, had waited at least 70 days to receive the funds, according to data from the US Labor Department. By comparison, less than 1% waited that long prior to the pandemic. This means there are a lot of people who are still waiting for their unemployment benefits. So what's going on here, folks? States will still provide those federal benefits owed to eligible applicants before the September 6th deadline. Now, those benefits, which by the way have now expired, include funds from the PUA program, the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, which is the program for the long-term unemployed and those who are self-employed, independent contractors and gig workers who did not qualify for state unemployment insurance. This, by the way, also includes a $300 weekly booster. Here's an important comment from the California's EDD, Employment Development Department. Any weeks of unemployment that occurred before those programs expire can still be paid retroactively if a claimant is later determined to be eligible for those weeks of benefits. Now, federal benefits have already lapsed over Labor Day weekend in all states across the country due to the administrative rules. Now, nearly 9 million people were poised to lose all benefits and another 3 million were set for a $300 weekly cut in aid, according to data issued by the Labor Department. Now, workers in Michigan, for example, who are waiting for a ruling from the state on their qualification of benefits, can get those funds retroactively, according to the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity. This is what the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity said. All protests and adjudications that have not been resolved by September 4th will continue through the process despite the federal programs ending. Benefits will be paid to claimants who are determined to be eligible. Now, these benefits should continue to certify. This is important, folks. Should continue to certify for benefits through the 4th of September. This was from the Michigan Labor Department. You will need to get in touch with your local state office in order to determine if there's a specific deadline for them. Now, many unemployed individuals who are eligible for federal benefits before Labor Day have a limited time to act, folks. This is important. States must accept new applications for the PUA program for 30 days after the program has expired, according to a memo issued by the Labor Department on the 3rd of September. In fact, let's show you this memo. Now, by the way, this is a very detailed and a very technical memo, so you don't really have to go through all of it. But the bottom line with this memo is that the Labor Department is telling all states that they must accept new applications for the PUA program for 30 days after the program expired. This means that up until the last week of September, potentially even the first week of October, if you were eligible to receive benefits through the PUA program, you can apply, but you would get those benefits up until the 6th of September, which technically is the Saturday or the Sunday, the 4th or the 5th of September prior to Labor Day. So really, there is an opportunity here for individuals who qualify for the PUA program to get benefits through September 4th or 5th, depending on the state. And also, this is important, there are 26 states, a majority of them Republican states, that did end some or all federal benefits prior to the September 6th deadline. The 30-day application window for those states already started when they exited the federal program. In other words, a 30-day window for those states already started in June or July when they withdrew from the programs. So therefore, that time period has already elapsed. So if you're in one of those states that prematurely ended these programs, that 30-day window may already have lapsed for you. So depending on which state you're in, you really need to be careful about this, and you may want to act quickly. Now, the long-term unemployed eligible for the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program, the PEUC program, also have a time limit to submit applications. However, that window is a little bit more complex. It actually varies, believe it or not, from state to state based on the respective law for late filing of claims. And this is covered in more detail in another memo. Think about this, folks. Another memo from the US Labor Department that explores this in a bit more detail. Now, this again is specific to each state because it's based on the respective law for late filing of claims in that state. In fact, let's show you that second memo on your screen right now, and you'll see the headline of the memo that reads Unemployment Insurance Program Letter, and the subject is State Responsibilities After the Temporary Unemployment Benefit Program under the CARES Act as amended end due to state termination of administration or when the programs expire. So you can go through this document, but the bottom line is it's an instruction to your state to decide, and your state will decide when that deadline is for the PEUC program. Thank you so much for watching, folks. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, type them out into the comment section below. Please support the channel by clicking the like button, by clicking subscribe, by enabling notifications. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.